Come here, Pearl. That's a good girl. All right. Okay, I'm Lynn Hannigan. I own Duckworth Retrievers. Been in the business for 35 years. And I would like to share some things that I've learned over the time period that may help you in the handling of your dog. And to clear things up right out of the gate, any dog, any breed. This works on dachshunds, pointing dogs, retrievers, spaniels, take your pick. A dog is a dog is a dog. What we're going to address mostly in a series of videos is the difference between direct pressure and indirect pressure. Direct pressure is what you use to modify a dog's behavior. Indirect pressure is what you use to modify a dog's attitude. If you use direct pressure, coercion, make the dog mine because you said so, you can end up with a dog that'll do what you want as long as you're close to him, but he will resent it. Doesn't like being told to do what he doesn't want to do. So to make it simple, you want one thing, the dog wants something else. The more distance you put between you and him, the more likely he is to be doing whatever he wants to do. However, if you change his attitude into a team player, then the dog wants to do what you want. He looks at you and said, okay, boss, what are we doing today? Now all you have to do is show him what you want. The conflict between you and the dog is gone because you changed his attitude. Come on, Pearl. Come on. That's a good girl. Pearl is a Slovakian rough-haired pointing dog. This is the slick-coated version. Not too many of them around. This is the first one I've ever had my hands on. Here. Good girl. We'll be using different types of pressure. Low level, continuous, to motivate the dog and teach her that she can shut electricity off by obeying. For instance, I'm going to push the button, tell the dog to kennel up. As you've seen, she already knows how to do it. Come on, Pearl, kennel up. Off the second her front feet hit the table. That's direct pressure. Indirect pressure would be if she refuses, I would call her with a very stiff momentary correction. That's the Nick version of the collar for showing me a bad attitude. And then when she turned around, I'd scratch her ears for turning around and addressing her lesson, and then instruct her to get up on the table without using the collar to give her a chance to show me what she had learned. You'll notice she's shaking. She has not gone through this attitude conversion, intentionally so. You're going to watch this happen right in front of you. I'm not going to take a dog that's already been through the program and say, see how well this works? No, she's going to learn to turn into a team player in front of the camera over the next few lessons, probably very few. What I found is if you address the dog's attitude, it's absolutely amazing how quickly the dog figures out what's going on, turns around, addresses her lesson, and then it's all positive from then on. Now I'm going to adjust the camera to focus over here because I'm going to buckle her up. And we're going to step right into this. I'm not going to waste your time. We'll get this thing turned around here and focused on the dog. Let's see how that works. That's a good girl, huh? You ready for this? All right, let's slide you up here and get you fixed up. The collar I'm putting on her now is a smooth strap collar. There's no prongs, there's no pain involved, and she has been on this table numerous times but she was a little slow to mature. So what we did is I sent her home and told them to give her as many birds and as much attention as they possibly could. And the owner was very proactive. Took the dog out every day, put a lot of birds in front of her. When she hears the whoa command, which here is not whoa, it's whoop, she thinks I'm telling her no instead of telling her stop. We're going to restrain the leg and all right. Never can keep track of everything. There it is. This is just a 1/2 inch around the toes. We clip this to the post so that if we have to pull on it, what do you think of that, huh? We don't pull, we don't want the dog to feel like she's being pulled off the table. You think, huh? Want to fetch that up? Oh, that's a good girl. Now she's been through this. What you're seeing here is nothing new. Where her problem is with birds. That was wood. This is steel conduit. Ready? Oh, fetch it up. Now you can't come up with much more of an unpleasant object to hold, than steel. It's an end wrench. I'm going to be real careful about the dog's teeth. Fetch it up. Good girl. And she obviously knows. Fetch. Hold it. Good. See her mouth quiet down? She's got her nose up a little bit. She is making a point of hanging on to that. I'll be right back. We're going to grab a bird. This is a fresh, dead pigeon. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Oh, yeah. She should reach out and grab this. Ready? All right, fetch it up. See the tentative hold? Fetch it up. Come on. Good. And you can see this is reluctant. She is not being proactive here. She says, oh, I'll do it only because you're making me. And that's exactly what we're going to work on here. Give. Give. One of the tools that I rely on regularly on early training like this is a waist collar. A lot of people in the competition world think that a waist collar does not work. And I can assure you that it works very, very well. Needs to be a little bit tighter than you normally would on the neck because the belly is so soft. And you don't need nearly as much electricity because the collar is on the flank where the skin is very, very thin. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is reinforce fetch with the e-collar. See her turn her face away? This is one of the first indications you're going to see if a dog has a bad attitude. She's turning her back on me and she's saying, I'm not going to look at you. I'm going to introduce indirect pressure. Standard spoon. have to wait for her to look away again. And I'm going to reinforce the recall. Here. That's a good girl. Okay. Get the right tool here. Oh, yeah. Okay, we're going to do this with a stick first. Ready? All right, fetch it up. She doesn't know how to do that with the e-collar. That's on 10. We're a Dogtra 10. So we're going to go to 13. We'll figure out what level she needs here. Fetch it up. Good girl. That wasn't bad. Give. That's a good girl. This next one will be at 15, and I'm looking to see if I'm going to get a faster, more deliberate grab. You see, she's not turning her face away. She's looking out here, but she's not looking at me. I'm going to give a little tiny tug on the toe cinch. Oh, there we go. That's what I'm looking for. What are you going to do? Huh? Here. Here. That's a good girl. Now what I corrected there was her attitude, her willingness to turn her back to me. Here. Yeah, I know you don't like that. Here. That's a good girl. Okay, if she does it again, I'm going to use the electric collar. I'm on 15. It'll be continuous. Huh? All right, pitch it up. Good girl. There was no e-collar involved there. That was a free command. Give. Out. I want to be careful about using electricity on two different applications here. I need to see if she's going to respond properly to the fetch command using electricity. There she's looking at me. All right, fetch it up. Good. Yeah, that's a good girl. Get rid of that? All right, that's a good girl. All right. Okay, this is going to be toe cinch and e-collar at the same time. Fetch it up. And turn it up, turn it up. There we go. Hold it. That was 26 on a Dogtra, 3,500. See how her hold is a little more positive? Give. Give. That's a good girl. Yeah. Her eyes aren't quite as big as they were a couple of minutes ago. The reason I like to use the waist collar is because the stimulation, electric stimulation from back here propels the dog forward, whereas if you use it on the neck, a lot of dogs will back up and back away from their lesson. I've yet to find a dog that backs up with a waist collar on. You ready? All right, fetch it up. Good, hold it. That's a good girl. See, she still doesn't want to hold it. We're not positive yet. This one is going to be toe cinch with a little more significant pull. I want to see how she responds to that. Huh? Fetch it up. See how it's negative? Good girl. Hold it. And that's not very much pressure. See how quiet she is? She's concentrating. Give. Oh, we have it. That's a good girl. Yeah. This level is at Dogtra 35. We'll support it with a little bit of toe cinch. Well, you got a piece of it. Fetch it up. There we go. Hold it. Okay, 35 is a little bit high. We're going to turn it down to 30. So you're turning her back away. She's still saying, I know what you want, I just don't want to do it. But she's not turning her back to me here. She's looking me pretty much right in the eye. Aren't you? Huh? You looking at me? Let's see how quick her grab is with no e-collar, just a toe cinch. Fetch it up. Oh, it's not very good. Let's reinforce it again. This time we're dogged for 30. Fetch it up. Good. Come on, fetch it up. Fetch it up. Come on. Good. Hold it. Now in that last correction, there was no e-collar. It was just a little tiny bit of toe cinch. And she's got the bird all the way in her mouth. And she's looking, whoop. Oh, you decided you didn't want to hold that, huh? No? You decided you didn't want to hold that? Oh, that's a good girl. There was no e-collar involved right there. I was ready to use it. Hold it. Just a twinge on the toe cinch. See how she quieted down? She's like, ooh, I got to hang on to that. Oh, give. That's a good girl. Oh, yeah, I know. Where the problem is going to set in is when she comes off of the post and I ask her to pick this up from the table. That's a huge jump for a dog. I want you to be able to see that button. I'm staying off of it unless she refuses. So the first one is just toe cinch. Fetch it up. Hold it. Good. Give. Yeah, that's a good girl. Going to put a second collar on her. It's turned off. I have no intention of using it, but I need a D-ring and a smooth strap collar. Because now Pearl is going to have the run of the table within the length of short, medium length leash. I'm going to adjust the camera. I'm going to leave this running because I don't want to edit this. I fell off the table there, didn't you? Come on. That's a good girl. Getting clumsy there, you know that. Here, come here. There you go. First thing I'm going to do Just ask her to pick that up. As you can see, she knows very, very well. Good girl. Oh, yeah. Here's where the rot will set in. Go ahead, make a liar out of me. Huh? That's a good girl. Yep. Good girl. Being as how you're so cooperative, I don't think we're going to need a toe cinch. I'm going to let her carry it. Probably won't stay on. Fetch it up. Good girl. That was a free command. Good girl. Yeah, she's being very cooperative. And this happened because I corrected her for not addressing her lesson a few minutes ago. This is on Dr. 20. Fetch it up. Good. Oh. All right, come here. Come on. Here. 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 Good girl. That's a good girl. What do you think of that? Huh? Come on. Here. Fetch it up. Good. That's a good girl. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good girl. Here. Fetch it up. Good. Come on. That's a good girl. Now, when I called her and said here, I reinforced it with the waist collar. On 20, which today in this environment is completely adequate. Come on, catch it up. Good. All right. That's the first lesson today. Obviously not the first lesson on the table at all. Now, I want to make a point. The only time that I truly corrected this dog using indirect pressure was when she turned her head away from me, turned her back on me and looked away. She refused to address her lesson. I got, if I remember correctly, 3 ear pinches to correct that. At that point, she turned around and addressed her lesson, very, very nicely, I might add, and has shown nothing but cooperation at that point, to this point. So I'm going to shut the camera off. And the next time we start this up, this will be lesson 2, and it will be on the ground. We'll be on the floor right down here. Ask her to pick a bird up from the ground. When a dog's feet hit the ground, their independence comes back. We will see if that happens with Pearl. What do you think of that, kid? What do you think of that? Okay, come on.